Hi, welcome back to my channel, TLCKP. Thanks for returning if you've been here before, and welcome if you are new. So if you saw the end of my last video on my hospital vlog, you'll know that I was discharged from hospital on the 10th of February, and you'll also know from that video, because I didn't realise I hadn't actually finished it off, that I was readmitted on the 16th of March, which was Thursday, so that was 2 days ago now. So this video is going to be about this here, which is my central line. So it goes into the jugular vein, I believe, in the neck. Now I was supposed to be getting another PICC line, but unfortunately my veins were too small and there's too much scar tissue for it to have gone through, and it would have caused a blood clot, so obviously they couldn't do it. So, and with my left arm, I had surgery about 11 years ago to remove a cyst from another condition I've got, which is hidradenitis suppurativa, or HS, and the cyst was quite large, and they ended up having to do a skin graft as well. So they can't just do a PICC line in that arm because they don't know what was done exactly and all of the ins and outs of apparently vascular things. I don't know. But yeah, so they actually tried to do the PICC line. I spent 2 hours down there. The guy was lovely. He was trying to do it but couldn't get it done. So then he said what they're going to need to do so they could start nutrition straight away, because I'd been about a week with nothing together. They said they would need to do a central line, which is this, to start the TPN, which is just there. So they started that last night. So with this, there's actually 5 of these here. So they can actually take bloods from this. So I believe she did it from this one this morning. They can give fluids, they can give medications, and there's TPN. The TPN, I believe there's a white one of these that is on. It's just behind me because it keeps, the machine moans about high pressure if it's in front of me. Maybe the angle, I don't know. But basically what they did is the PICC line man referred it to the anaesthetists as an emergency, and so I got back from the PICC fiasco at about 1:30, I believe, yesterday afternoon. They then took me down for the central line at about 4 o'clock, maybe a bit before that. So I didn't have to wait long. It was quite quick. A doctor came, I signed a consent form. They went through the risks of it, obviously, because it's there. This can also only stay in for about 10 days maximum. I don't know why. It just can only stay in for 10 days maximum. So what they did is they took me down to theatres, and I didn't know. I knew I was just having a local anaesthetic. If you've never had surgery before, when you go into the operating room, you start in this other room before you go into the theatre, and that's where they give you the anaesthetic and put you on the blood pressure monitor and do your obs and things like this. But that's where I stayed. I just stayed in that bit there. So yeah, they then sprayed me with this sanitizing spray, I believe it was, which I actually ended up having a reaction to. Just my shoulder and my neck just felt like they were on fire, but there was no redness or skin reaction. It just felt really hot. Luckily they did go away after about an hour, But yeah, and then they put this sheet over me, over my face, over my neck, like when obviously left a gap here for it. They then used an ultrasound so they could check the vein, make sure it was big enough, and they said it was just big enough, so I'm lucky there. Because my veins are very, very small. I imagine it's just the dehydration, lack of nutrition, and my weight, I suppose, doesn't help anything. But yeah, and then they did that, and please excuse this pillow, by the way. It's just I usually use a neck pillow to sleep and to lay down, and this is quite uncomfortable. My neck is uncomfortable like this side. So yes, I'm just leaning against this, so I don't put too much pressure on this because it's still very sore. But anyway, the whole procedure wasn't painful or anything like that. It was just sore, but it wasn't painful. Afterwards it hurt a bit, but I had some IV paracetamol, but apart from that it was fine. After they sanitised the area, they then did the ultrasound, make sure the vein was big enough, which I think I've just mentioned. They then, I believe that was when they got all their equipment ready, got everything sorted, and the man, so I was laying down, he was actually standing behind me and like leaning over, and my head was directly to the left side like this, so they had access. My hair gets stuck in the tape. It's pretty annoying, but yeah. But yeah, and then, sorry, this video is really haphazard. Apologies, I'm just trying to remember what happened. So then they gave the local anaesthetic. They had to keep giving quite a bit because I could still feel it. They just poked me with a needle, so I knew they were doing that, so hence the anaesthetic wasn't working just yet. So they had to keep giving a bit more. I'm not quite sure what happened after that, but they then put it in and did everything they needed to do. And then once they were done and they were happy with it, they just checked it by the ultrasound, they were happy with that. They then said the way they work things in my hospital is, like I say, they did it under local anaesthetic, not general or sedation. And they also stitch with non-dissolvable stitches. But yeah, so when this comes out, they have to also take the stitches out, which I'm really not looking forward to because I'm imagining it's going to be painful. Having had stitches removed before, but not so shortly after having them in. Excuse me. But yeah, so I'm really hoping that this works well. But I've been on the TPN since late last night. I think the last time I looked, I'd had about 14 hours. It's only a really low rate. It's like 22 mils an hour because they're concerned about refeeding syndrome. But yeah, so overall, yesterday didn't go to the way I thought it was going to go. But this is in. I'm getting fed. Get my nutrition, should I say. I'm actually not taking anything else orally, so I'm still doing my medications through the NJ, but that's all it gets used for. It's just my medications, which is quite uncomfortable, but is the way it is at the moment, and the injury is actually causing quite a few sores in my nose, so not fun. But I've had an NJ there constantly since the beginning of August 2022, so last year, because this is my third NJ. So since July, yes, July 22. So I had the first one in, it was coiled and kinked and all that business, and then I could barely even flush it. And the machines, when I went away for a few days and they let me do that, and then I come back into hospital, planned admission, and they tried to do the feed, machine wasn't having it, and then so they replaced it, the one that I had, and then in January I got this one here, which is why it's much longer. The other one only came to about here, finished about here. It was quite difficult to put meds in, so but yeah, now this one's quite easy to do because it's quite long, although it definitely does get in the way. So but anyway, this is supposed to be about my central line. Off on a tangent there, but anyway, so overall it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. Having this in, it is uncomfortable and it is annoying, but at least I can take everything and put everything in this. And like I said, she did bloods this morning out of this one here, this brown one. So now I don't need to worry about the daily blood tests they're doing and them trying to find a vein and all this business. You can just do it out of that. And she just said she has to change my paracetamol to via the central line rather than IV. But so it's quite good. So I can't remember if I said it earlier, there are 5 of these on here, and it is heavy, hence why it's pulling on my neck there. But like I say, it is stitched in as well, and obviously taped as well. So it should be okay. But I'm actually in a bay, so I'm on a bay section, I don't know what you call it, with 3 other people. So it's quite difficult to film things, but I'll do what I can. But anyway, thank you for watching, and apologies if I rambled a little bit, just trying to remember what they did and trying to explain things as best as I can. But I will keep you all updated, and I will do an overall vlog again, probably over a few parts like last time, but hopefully this day won't be as long as last time, so fingers crossed. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you again soon. Bye.